Hey, what's up guys? How are you all doing? While everybody is playing around with their brand new Tundra trackers, there has been a lot of questions in the comments section regarding these SlimeVR trackers, because I don't know how many of you are actually following them, but they have gone through a ton of updates, including the fact that they can be used standalone with the Quest, in a very limited sense, and I'll explain that a little bit more later. So, in today's video I'm going to be showing you the much simplified install process of the SlimeVR trackers, and we're going to be checking out all the improvements made to their tracking. But just before we begin the video, VRCover have very kindly decided to help us out with a giveaway that I will again be telling you more about towards the end of the video. So as usual, in case you guys enjoy this one, make sure to smack that little red button down below, and let's get right into it. So, first of all, the install process for the SlimeVR trackers has been greatly simplified, and I think greatly is an understatement. A lot of people were very put down by the fact that you had to go onto a GitHub page and extract folders and do all of that yourself. Now, there's a simplified installer. This installer will not only install the SlimeVR server onto your computer, but also install all the drivers necessary for SteamVR. And I guess I can be a tester of that, since my PC is formatted, so we're doing this all entirely from scratch. So before we jump into all the nitty-gritty, let me introduce you to the SlimeVR tracker for anyone that doesn't know what this is. This is an alternative to SteamVR full body tracking methods. Currently, you really only have two ways of proper full body tracking when it comes to SteamVR. You have to use lighthouses, and you have to use either the Vive pucks or Tundra trackers. That's if you can get your hands on those. However, back when these came out, Vive trackers were really the only option, and Aaron, the creator of these, being frustrated with the fact that the community had no cheap way of full body tracking, decided to make SlimeVR trackers. Now, I feel like it's important to note here that the one I have in my hands is a pre-production model. Your one, in case you want to buy these, is going to look much more finished, but they work exactly the same. In case you guys are interested, in my original review of these, where I tell you much more about the specs, pricing, and all of that, make sure to check it out right up here. But TLDR, these are a much cheaper version of full body tracking for SteamVR, and in case they're still too expensive for you, they are also entirely open source, meaning that you can make these entirely on your own, which a bunch of community members have already been doing very, very successfully. All the drivers and all the firmware for these is available for you on their GitHub page. But now moving on to the part of the video that everyone has been waiting for. Let's install the software and check this out in-game. So, check this out. Installation is now incredibly simple. Download the SlimeVR installer either from their official documentation page or from their GitHub, and just double-click on it like you would on any other Windows installer. Boom, it'll install your SteamVR drivers and the SteamVR server. Now, fire up the SteamVR server like you would any other Windows app and start connecting all your slimes to Wi-Fi. The way you do this is you just connect the slimes to the computer using a USB cable, click on Wi-Fi up in the top right corner, and connect them all to your network. I already had this done, so all I need to do is power mine up, and they're going to start appearing inside the software. Once they start appearing inside the software, I have to map them to each body part. Of course, just to let them know which body part they're on. You have to do this with any other SteamVR tracker, whether it's a Tundra or whether it's Vive trackers, so this is the same procedure here. After that, you select which direction they're facing. Mine are facing forward. Off to the side, you also have the option of selecting 11-point tracking in case you want to use that instead for any apps that support that, and you also have the option of correcting your offsets in case they are a little off, because everyone's body is different. And boom, you are ready and off to go. So let's fire up VRChat and see how it goes. It took me a while to actually figure out what was happening because VRChat had an update. Now, just when you fire up VRChat, reset your calibration, face forward, and click the little reset button, and that will position the trackers on your body the way they're supposed to be. But once we're done that, we're gonna do all our tests. So, I started moving the legs around just like I would at the very beginning of every test. Then I started jumping up and down, moving a little bit more, Then I lay down on the ground. This is something we originally had a little bit of an issue with leg crossing and things like that, but that seems to be entirely gone now, as you can see for yourself. Then we got a little bit more crazy, why not? We did a little handstand. I don't think this is something we did in the original video. This one worked really damn well, and no issues there whatsoever. Of course, I know a lot of you are going to want to check out the sitting test, since this is something a lot of people in VRChat love doing, and that worked out no problem as well. no issues with crossing legs or anything like that, so all those issues that we seemed to have with the original testing seem to be gone. By the way, drift was non-existent after I tested this out for a longer time, but that could be because my play space is absolutely tiny. You guys with larger play spaces might experience drift from time to time because these are IMUs, but all you do then is you reset your calibration and you're off to go. And you know, after that I tested a bunch of different avatars for you guys, since I know you like seeing a little bit of variety and seeing how they work with different VRChat body bone structures. Now of course this test wouldn't be a Mysticle test without doing a little bit of stupid dancing. Now I have no clue how to dance, and I'm sure there will be memes of this on my Discord today, but at least this time my window blinds were down, so my neighbors couldn't laugh at me later on. Either way, you know, dancing is one of the things that works really well with full body tracking, so it would be a shame not to test it out, including doing a little swirl and things like that. Of course, I went through testing with all these other avatar types, just like I did with the first one, including actually doing a handstand with one of my friend's avatars. I'm sure you guys know this anime, I don't, and people are gonna attack me for it down in the comments section, but that's okay. Did a few more tests, including, again, sitting down with all of these avatars and laying down on the ground before I was pretty sure that we had done enough testing. Now, towards the end, I did do one final thing. I did my favorite pose, which according to me tests out kind of the most of the body movements, where it's kind of like a ninja pose, but it tests, you know, pretty much every body part out. Each leg, each arm is doing something. As you can see, the SlimeVR trackers also had no issue recovering after a handstand or after standing up from sitting down, which is great because the last thing you want to be doing is resetting that calibration every single time you stand up from sitting down or something like that. Another huge benefit of these trackers, you can lay down under a blanket when you're cold, and because they don't rely on base stations, well, they're not prone to occlusion, which is absolutely fantastic. Well, there you have it. I'm sure the results speak for themselves. SlimeVR has come such a far way, and let me tell you, that was amazing. I've been using SlimeVR for a very, very long time. However, I actually haven't touched it through the last month. There has just been way too much going on with Christmas coming up, with my trip to Switzerland, and everything like that. The updates here are absolutely incredible, and while I was using SlimeVR before that, I'm one of the people that sometimes just forgets to update. Having this work so well just puts a massive smile on my face. These updates have fixed pretty much anything that I could have had an issue with. There used to be a bug, right, when you'd sit down and your legs would somewhat cross over. That seems to be entirely gone, as you could see from my tests of sitting down. Same with sitting down on the floor, and you could see me doing a bunch of handstands as well, and those came out looking pretty damn natural. What Aaron managed to do here is what any other company didn't manage to do, and maybe that's because Aaron isn't a company and seems to work for the community and not for the investors. And that's a huge big deal, because if you have the means to build this yourself right now, you can. They have full documentation on their website, as well as how to flash the firmware and how to install the server, and in case you need any help, I'm sure the people over on their Discord are willing to do that, which I will of course leave a link to down below. However, if you're like me and you enjoy having the finished product in your hands, you can always join their crowdfunding down below. If you are joining the crowdfunding campaign, you might be waiting for a while, but let me tell you, it's worth it. It's not like you can get Tundra trackers any earlier than that. Anyway, since those things have absolutely blown up ever since creators got their hands on the finished product and are praising the living hell out of them. I'm sure they're amazing. I'm not saying they're not. It's just their price point is still a little too high for a lot of people. And you need base stations. Here, because these things are entirely standalone, no base stations needed, they do work with Quest. I mentioned this at the very beginning, and let me explain that a little bit further now. Yes, these do work with Quest standalone. Aaron had proved that with VRWorkout, making them work in VRWorkout standalone on the Quest. However, the SlimeVR server still needed to be run on a computer. Not that that would probably be too much of a big deal to run on the Quest, plus it could be run on something that is not VR ready whatsoever. You could run this thing on a potato, and it would still transfer over to the Quest. However, that's not where the issue stands. If you want full body tracking standalone on the Quest, don't buy this, because nobody can give that to you except for the developers. Yes, this does work standalone. However, what's the point of that if no apps support it? Unless we can get the VRChat developers over on Quest to support SlimeVR, well, then there is just no point. It's the developers over on the Quest platform that have to implement this, and with VRChat already not running quite the best on Quest Standalone, I doubt they're going to want to do that. By the way, great update on VRChat. Haven't been in there for a while, but I just noticed all the menus are like revamped and everything just works a lot better. So props for that. Overall, I am super happy with this update. We tested this thing out to what I would say the max. We tested jumping, we tested doing weird poses, we tested sitting, and I know that this was an issue for a lot of you last time. We tested it with humanoid avatars, or at least the only humanoid avatars that I could find, since not a lot of you liked my fox avatar to test it with. So I tested it with humanoids as well. So I hope that, you know, you guys were satisfied with that. I am super impressed with the updates that have come out for these, and just overall how much more simple this has become. If you watch my first video and the setup on that and the setup here, it's become miles easier, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to agree. Thank you so much, Aaron, for creating this. Once again, the community is absolutely grateful, and while I may not be too active on your server, know that I'm loving and using your slimes. So thank you so much on behalf of the community. And just towards the end here, as I promised you guys, VRCover has promised us a giveaway. So let me tell you about that. So first of all, this is the brand new blue fitness VR cover for your Oculus Quest 2. I personally loved the first fitness VR cover, and I talked about it very well. These things have these little gaps for air to go into the Quest, allowing you to sweat way less and just overall be even more comfortable. And now they've got a blue one, which means I get to match it up with my hair. Now for the giveaway. VRCover have very kindly decided to give away 4 pieces of something out to the community. All they told me was I get to choose the winners and the fact that I'm going to be able to give out 4 things, but they never told me what they were going to be, which I guess makes sense because Christmas is coming up and this is going to be a Christmas surprise. So as usual, I'm going to leave a link down below, probably a GiveLab link or something like that, in order to make the giveaway as fair as I possibly can and choose random winners. Again, what you're winning, I have no clue. Maybe if I find out, I'll update the giveaway page. Other than that, you know, no other requirements. You don't need to subscribe, you don't need to like or anything like that. Just do the things that it says in the GiveLab link. But I would be grateful. But yeah, let's roll the outro. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day or night. In case you guys liked the video, please leave a like. If you guys disliked it, I guess this button works too, but please tell me why down in the comments section below. If you guys are not yet part of our community, check out our Discord down below, check out our Reddit, where I want to see you posting your spice memes. Thank you so much to the Patreon supporting this channel. You guys help me out a ton, buying better gear and just overall making these videos better. Thank you so much for that. If you guys would like to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, we've got sick mugs down below that boost your FPS by 300%, and merch that does not put a huge ad on your body. And as usual, in case you guys want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel daily, make sure to smack the subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.